Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you're all having a great holiday. And I just want to say thank you to all of you that have been supporting this channel. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me. And if it wasn't for this MFF community, I really don't know what I'd do when it comes to this game. So thank you, you guys, are what keeps me going. You guys are the reason that I keep making these videos. And again, I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. And again, thank you so much for supporting this channel. So today we're going to do a run with Ghost Rider. I've been getting lots of requests on doing runs with Ghost Rider. People are telling me that they're having problems keeping him alive. That's something they're having some difficulty with. And yeah, you will have some difficulty keeping him alive unless you just have heals. That's really all you need. Ghost Rider has enough of an HP pool. I mean, I only have, if you take a look at my cards, and you take a look at my card effects, I have 14% HP. It's not like I have a lot of HP. You know, it's pretty normal for a lot of accounts. I mean, maybe some accounts are less. If you're a newer account, you're probably not going to have that much. But it's really not a lot of max HP. And I just make sure I bring a healing striker like Anti-Venom or Groot. Those are two really good ones that you can bring in, you know, with the Baby Groot uniform. And, you know, my Ghost Rider only has 48,000 HP, or about 49,000 HP. He just doesn't have a lot of HP, and that's really why he can die. He doesn't have a heal, which I always thought was silly on Ghost Rider. You know, whenever this uniform first came out, we all wanted him to have a heal. It's Ghost Rider. In all honesty, he's pretty much the walking undead is what he is. He should be pretty much immortal. He should have a revive and all kinds of other stuff, but he doesn't. But that's not to say he is a bad character. He's not. He's freaking amazing. And in my opinion, this is pretty much one of the most recommended tier 3s that you could ever get in this game. Ghost Rider is absolutely insane. So we'll run through the build. He has 37,800 energy attack. He has max attack speed, 40 crit rate, 181 critical damage, max ignore defense, and max skill cooldown. Dodged at 33%, which really doesn't matter. And Ghost Rider is another character similar to Sharon Rogers, Luna Snow, that does have this leadership. So if White Fox ever gets an awakened skill or tier 3, which I almost bet she will in the future, especially after getting this new uniform, then he's going to be even stronger because you could use someone like her to buff him up, giving him that extra 60 or 65% damage on supervillains, depending on whether or not you have the new uniform or not, which will be insane for him. He doesn't need it, but if he had it, lower, like accounts with less energy attack than me, you know, I have 83%. They're going to be able to do, they're going to be able to go against Null pretty easily with Ghost Rider. As far as his gears, you know, he just has 5-star Urus. Okay, he's got a 6-star here. He has 6-star here. These are 5-star. Okay, and these are all 5-star. These are all 5-star. And these are all 5-star. So he's not built super well. I could build him a little bit stronger, to be perfectly honest. Could put Odin's blessings on him. But the beautiful thing about Ghost Rider is you really don't need to do that. I think with an account with, say, probably 50%, maybe 40 to 50% energy attack, could probably do this with Ghost Rider. Maybe less. Let me know in the comments if you can do it with less. But his tier 3 is absolutely insane. You know, he does have the fire resistance, but that's not going to work at all against Null, which is just going to show how powerful Ghost Rider is. You do get the invincibility, which is really nice. And then you get the increased damage by 30%. And you look at that, you think 30%, well, that's not very much. But actually, for Ghost Rider, it actually seems like it is. Plus he gets, and this is the big one, he has the increased damage to supervillains by 120%, which is crazy. That is crazy, but it gets better with Ghost Rider. Second skill, the third skill. And then in his third skill, he gets this increased damage by 250% for one attack for 3 seconds. Now, something to keep in mind when you're playing with Ghost Rider is whenever you're timing your proc, this proc here on this third skill is only for one attack. And it lasts for the duration of 3 seconds. So you want to make sure if you're using a damage proc, which I'm not, but if you're using a damage proc, you want to make sure that the proc lands on the third skill. That's very important because then you'll get the proc damage and you'll get this 250% for one attack all on one skill. And this third skill does an insane amount of damage. The fourth skill also does really good damage, and then the fifth skill again does really good damage. You got the 25% increase of all attack, you got the increased fire damage, which does help. The fire resistance down doesn't help at all. And when you're playing with Ghost Rider, all you really want to do is, we'll jump into the skill preview here, and I'll just quickly run through the rotations. When you're playing with Ghost Rider, all you want to do is you want to run up to null. Now, I'm playing with a CTP of Judgment, so I can get away with doing this. But if you're playing with a proc, maybe you just want to hit the 5 and then cancel on 3. However, sometimes the proc won't trigger on the 5, and you can hit the 5, throw that. Once he throws that ball in the air, then you can hit the third skill and hopefully land the proc on the third skill. Now, the third skill does have a long cooldown, so you're going to be switching between the third skill and the fourth skill, the third skill and the fourth skill. So you'll put the proc on the fourth skill 1 rotation, you'll put the proc on the third skill 1 rotation, and if you whenever you do the tier 3, you'll throw the ball up in the air again. We'll just wait. Whenever you do the tier 3, you know, you'd hit the tier 3, shows up, and then hit the third skill. And you do that all at once, and if you can incorporate the fifth skill also, that's the way to go. But since I play with the CTP of Judgment, I don't have to worry about when I land a proc. So the way that I like to do it is I'll do the fifth skill like right now, then I'll hit the tier 3, and then I'll hit the third skill. I get the attack buff from the fifth skill, I get the tier 3, and then I get the damage proc on the third skill. If you're playing with a proc, you won't be able to do that because the proc will probably trigger on the tier 3 or probably on the fifth skill, but sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of funny, honestly, with Ghost Rider. He does have a fully awakened Power of Angry Hawk set, and he does have a CTP of Judgment. I know a lot of people always like, put a rage on him, put a rage, and yes, he's amazing with rage, blah, blah. But the CTP of Judgment is absolutely insane. You know, I do have 83% energy attack on my cards, but I can cap out ABX with this guy. And it's really not that difficult. You saw my build with the CTP of Judgment. I don't need no rage. And against Null, he doesn't need a rage either. Now, if you have an account that has maybe quite a bit less energy attack than me, maybe you have 30% energy attack, maybe 40%, maybe you'd want to put a rage on him because he just would be a little bit better. But the Judgment really is insane on him because it gives you the all attack, which is very important for him. It gives you that chain hit damage. The all resistance isn't worth a damn, but it also gives you this increased damage, all element damage by 200%. And Ghost Rider has all elemental damage, so all flame, every one of them, except for his tier 3. And then his uniform is at Mythic. And you look at his uniform options, I got Dodge for extra survivability, and that's probably what you'd want to go with. You'd want to have Power of Angry Hawk on him, and you really want to have this uniform, and I know this uniform kind of sucks. It doesn't suck, but it just wasn't that big of an upgrade for Human Torch. But Dodge would really help, you know, to increase the survivability, then have some energy attack. This really sucks because this is a paywall. And then we have some HP, very important. If you can have HP on him, this is the way to go. With Captain America, a lot of people are going to have this uniform. And then we have some Dodge from White Fox's uniform, which everybody will be able to get. And then we have some critical damage from Namor, which, even though he's a paywall, a lot of people are going to have this uniform. They're going to be using him. So it really, at this point in the game, for most players, it's not that bad. But if you're a newer player, yeah, it kind of sucks. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. Now, this was a very difficult run to do, not because it was difficult with Ghost Rider, but because my damn emulator kept crashing over and over and over. So I'm going to start out with that 5. I'm going to let that ball shoot up in the air, and then I'm going to hit the 4 to get the proc to trigger, and then the third skill. And look at that damage. Now, if you notice in my strikers, I got Ancient One in there. Ancient One's very important to have that debuff. That way, maybe you won't get entangled, you won't get caught in something, and it'll allow you to do more damage over time. And then I got Anti-Venom, of course, for heals, and you really need healing strikers. And look at the damage he just did. Now, I am using Captain Marvel as leadership. She does offer 30% energy attack, and that does help. He doesn't really need it, but it just makes this a lot easier to do, to be perfectly honest. And in all fairness, you're really not going to try just complete solos with characters without leaderships unless they have a good leadership to begin with. Now, watch what I do. I'm going to hit the 5. I'm going to let that ball go up in the air. I'm going to hit the tier 3. Then I'm going to go into the 4. Not bad. He definitely does a lot more damage on that third skill. Big time. But I'm pretty much just face tanking is all I'm doing. And again, having the debuff from Ancient One as a striker and having Anti-Venom as a healing striker is really what's enabling me to just face tank good old Null. So I'm just gonna hit my regular skills. I'm not gonna use my tier 3 because we're almost at the end of the bar 31. There we go. We broke the bar. Now we're gonna let our fifth skill get off cooldown. Run around, and we're gonna hit our fifth skill. You wanna try to have your tier 3 ready on this part of the stage. Let the ball go up in the air, hit the tier 3, then hit the third skill. And look at that. And this is really why you'd want to rage or judgment on him, because he really is just so much better, to be perfectly honest, guys. He's so much better with these kinds of props. Because you can combine all those skills at once. And remember, the first circle shows up at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. We're going to hit our fifth skill. We got Entangled Air, friggin' Tornado. And I'm just pouring on as much damage as I can. Alright. Now, Ghost Rider's pretty slow on his feet. So if you get in a situation where you got to run around, switch to a faster character like Captain Marvel or in Thor in my case, to where you can run around fast enough to get away from Null's attacks. Now, I just want to wait a little bit here, and then we're going to run up as soon as Null jumps down on me. Okay, run over here, run here. Whoa, watch out. Now we're going to hit our fifth skill. Let that ball go up in the air. Now we're going to run away because Null brings out them purple attacks. After the Grendel, he always brings out those purple attacks, so you don't want to attack too long. And after the Grendel, the circle will be in the top left-hand corner. Okay, now we're going to hit. Watch out, watch out. Okay, so we're going to use our fifth skill again. Let that ball go up in the air. Hit the third skill. I'm trying not to use my tier 3 because I want to have it in this next phase when we get below 7 bars. You really want to save that thing for the next phase. There we go. All right, we got a little pop up there. It's sticking. Now here, it's a little risky with Ghost Rider. If you attack right now, you're going to take a lot of damage from him, and Ghost Rider just doesn't have a lot of HP. So I'd recommend just wait afterwards, hit your fifth skill, let the ball go up in the air, hit the tier 3, and then hit the third skill. Look at how much damage I do. And boom. Pretty much one-shot it for the most part. And that's really why I like to have Captain Marvel in there, just to add that little bit of energy attack. Now, if you have full life, you could start that from the very beginning, got 21 CCF. You could start it, like as soon as you go into that phase, you could just start with your fifth skill because you do have invincibility. Go into your tier 3 and do your third skill. You could do that, but you will take damage if you do that. If you wait till after Thor strikes his hammer, then you won't. So it's really going to depend on how much HP you have, what kind of HP pool you have, as to whether or not you should attack Null as soon as you go into this last phase, or if you should just wait till Thor strikes. That's just something you're going to have to test. You know how much HP I have, and you can go by that as to whether or not you should attack immediately or you should just wait till after Thor strikes his hammer. So again, Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you so much again for supporting the channel. I hope this helps some of you out there, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.